and immaculate. Everybody's having a good time. There's such great energy in the building. George Kittle, I think we could pretty much...
George Kittle's a good time.
Yeah.
I think George Kittle is a pretty good vibes guy.
No matter
Purdy's
what.
a good time, too.
No, I'm sure, yeah. And
The question is, we're not talking about vibes. More likely, the 49ers miss the playoffs or win the NFC West.
For me, door number 3 would be what I assume I'll pick, which is that they'll be the last or second last wild card team in the NFC. But of these two, it's an easy answer, which is misses the playoffs. Because while I won't go as far as the the Rams defensive back who didn't quite make the show, who said, hey, man, greatest show on turf 2.0, not better, just newer.
Yep.
For the Rams, I think the Rams are a considerably better team than they were, considerably better team than the Niners. I think the Rams are better than they were last year, and last year they were much better than the Niners. And so I like the Rams to win that division by a couple of games. And so I don't think the Niners are all of a sudden going to go from 6 wins to 13 wins, which is what I assume it would take to win the division. Why does it look like you bit into a bad lemon, Brou?
Because I think you are way, way, way off. I mean, I think you should have made this a tough question and said, are they more likely to get to the Super Bowl or
agree.
miss the playoffs?
Obvious.
Obviously win the division. I mean, the Rams are no juggernaut. I mean, seriously, and they got an old quarterback. They're good. I'm not writing them off, but to act like they're the Philadelphia Eagles or the Washington Redskins
won 6 games last year.
Yeah, because half the team was hurt.
Injuries.
Yeah, that's all you say when we bring up Trevor's stats. I mean, injuries are legitimate, Nick.
So, but their quarterback was healthy all year, right?
Yeah. But their best running back was injured.
Yeah,
their best receiver was injured.
But now they've traded a receiver. Like, that's the part I don't get.
Yeah, but I think Ricky Pearsall is going to be good.
He was there
He
was there last
He got shot.
Okay.
Got shot.
Jawan Jennings was there.
No, Ricky Pearsall wasn't there. All right, they had Jawan Jennings. Pearsall got shot.
I mean, Pearsall,
and he played a few games as a rookie.
I think he played 13
games.
He
was recovering from getting shot. I really have to sit here and defend this.
But you're saying,
you acting like that's not a big deal.
No, not funny.
What I'm acting like is somehow you can say, I think Ricky Pearsall is going to be really good. And then when I say he was there last year, you're basing that he can be really good on what he did last year.
Yeah, but I'm not judging him like he was like everything was perfect for him last year.
I'm not trying to.
There were a lot of obstacles for him last year.
Can I show the schedule? It's the easiest
That's
schedule
the thing, too.
in the entire NFL.
What are we talking about?
And it's an easy by a significant
schedule.
You got the Titans on there. You got the Colts on there. You got
I get all that.
Giants.
But so here's the important thing when we're doing division stuff. 14 of these 17 games are identical for the Rams. So the Rams.
But what aren't the?
It is 3 significant differences. Those 3 games.
The Rams beat them last year by what? 3 points in that game. In the no, but I'm saying when they matched up head to head and the Niners were depleted by injuries, the Rams beat them 12-9 or whatever.
And I guess
when did the Rams become some juggernaut?
I think that there is a disconnect for me, the Niners, everything about last year was injuries. And then this year, they lost players in free agency.
Okay. It transitions into craziness for their club superstar. So the segment's over. You can see. This might take the cake. This has to be top 5 of just the most insane takes. You're downplaying someone being shot. I don't even think I have the words to honestly describe the actual insanity of that. The only thing that I can, the first thing that comes to my mind, and you'll have to walk this path with me very quickly, and then I'm going to get into the actual details of the 49ers and the Rams, etc., etc. And we can look at the schedule. This whole idea that you need to have such firm-rooted strong, concrete takes and that you can't let them go no matter what, to the point where you're trying to downplay Pearsall being hospitalized, not for a stubbed toe, but from being lit up in the chest, and we're going to act like that's something just because we have it so firmly that Brock Purdy is a bad quarterback and that the 49ers are going to be a bad team. I mean, like, it's just so insane. It really is. And when I very first started this channel, I really was, like, I had this feeling of, like, well, what is my voice? Who am I? Why would anyone want to listen to anything that I have to say? And you are looking for inspiration. You're like, well, this is what this guy does. This is what this guy does. This is what this guy does. And you're kind of like, these are all the things that are out there. And I remember having a couple moments in the very beginning of just like, what opinions do I need to have? And I was just like, I want to have just authentic ones. I just want to have ones that feel right to me and not so much like I need to have this perfectly crafted take. And then also the feeling of like, well, what happens when my take evolves? Do I need to double, triple down on it? How do I navigate it? And it's just like, like one of my takes that I've evolved a lot over is Baker Mayfield. I used to think Baker Mayfield was a significantly worse quarterback. And I think he's a lot better than I had originally thought. And I could keep now double, triple downing on that. I could keep saying, well, the Bucs, they have no chance to win the division. Penix is there now with the Falcons, and that's over. But I was like, I'm never going to air that out because I'm like, no, the Bucs are actually a pretty good team, and Baker's a pretty good quarterback. And, of course, they could still win that division. And it's just like here you see like the more extreme version of that, where you're now like we're now trying to downplay just the onslaught of injuries. And I've made this video so many times with Brock Purdy, and I'm not I already said this the last time, I'm not doing it again. Like I already did such a deep dive in the stats and the numbers and showed everyone like what are we doing here? Like Brock Purdy's numbers last year were almost nearly identical to that of Patrick Mahomes, who everyone said that his numbers were down because of injuries. And you're like, well, he won. His defense was light years better. Patrick Mahomes had an elite defense, whereas the 49ers had a bottom-of-the-barrel defense. That matters. And now you're trying to paint the story that the Rams are going to win, 14 games this coming season? And I think the Rams will be a great team. I believe in Stafford. I believe in Puka Nacua. I believe in Devontae. I believe in the defense. I believe in Sean McVay. But it's just some of this stuff is just absurdity. It's just borderline delusional. I mean, it's just like the fact that we're literally going to downplay Pearsall. I mean, I can't even understand it. And then we're gonna elevate Jennings as being just this like big time number one wide receiver. First off, they didn't have him for all the games. They only had him for 15, so not all 17. And he was doing nothing in year 1, nothing in year 2, nothing in year 3, and then when he was given the opportunity, significantly better. And I guess first off, Brock Purdy has nothing to do with that either, I suppose. But so I just like I don't understand. I mean, they had a kicker who forgot how to kick, special teams who was not that special, and a defense that was so bad, I can't even explain how they've lost some of these games. I mean, first off, you had 2 games that Brock Purdy didn't even play, okay, against the Cardinals and against the Packers, okay? So that's 2 losses where it's like, who the heck cares? You have a game against the Rams where they were dominating that game, but then the defense was an absolute disaster, and the kicker who, again, missed a kick. You had a game against the Cardinals where, again, defense was awful. Kyler Murray had a 50-yard touchdown run that he knew from the moment he hit the line of scrimmage. That was a disaster. They lost a game to the Chiefs, which was, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the ugliest games I've ever seen in my entire life. I think I have it here. Let's see if I can bring it up. where Patrick Mahomes threw for 154 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, and had a 44.4 rating. I mean, like, that game was just, to this day, I still don't even know what the heck I watched. You had a game against Tampa Bay where Moody missed 3 field goals, and they lost by 3 points. A game against the Dolphins where they literally did not have a running back at all. Brock Purdy and Debo were their main rushers, so that's not too good. The game against the Rams where it was 12-6, a wild score for that amazing 8-6 Rams team at the time, where Debo literally just did not want to catch the ball. I mean, that was that whole game where he was like, I want the ball more, and then decided to just not be able to catch the ball. If he just caught the ball one of those times, he would have went off, won the game, game over. But Matthew Stafford hardly played a great game. He had a whopping 160 yards, 5.9 yards per attempt, and a 76.2 rating. Now, I think it's safe to say that, the Rams had a mess of a team with their injuries and whatnot, and so did the 49ers, and yet Brock Purdy did better. According to PFF, he had a rating of 82.4, and Matthew Stafford had a rating of 74.7. Stafford had 20 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. Brock Purdy, who, again, played less games, had 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He had 3,864 passing yards. Matthew Stafford had 3,762 yards. Matthew Stafford had a 65.8 completion percentage. Brock Purdy a 65.9. Stafford 7.3 yards per attempt. Brock Purdy 8.5 yards per attempt. And that's when he actually had Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua obviously missed a handful of games, so did Cooper Kupp, but at least he truly got those guys back. That's like if Brock Purdy actually got a prime Debo back, which he did not, because a prime Debo just did not exist that season. He was unavailable. So again, I'm just not entirely sure what we're trying to invent here right now. Again, I'm not trying to pretend that I think that the 49ers are just set up to be this big time juggernaut team, and that the Rams are going to be garbage. I think they're both going to be competing for the division. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, but to pretend you have zero questions about Stafford, who was inconsistent at best, even when fully healthy. They were fully healthy against the 49ers, and the 49ers had an awful defense. They had Puka Nacua, they had Cooper Kupp, etc., and you got a pretty awful game out of Stafford, who tried to give the ball away. I mean, I don't know, man. I really don't know where this obsession with with pulling Brock Purdy down and the 49ers. I could understand you not being 100% dead set on who the 49ers are and the Rams are. And Brock Purdy. But this idea that you don't want to give any explanation for why the 49ers had the season that they had, and you don't want to give them any benefit of the doubt and any sense that they're going to improve. That's just wild. It really is. We know as long as they're healthy, their offense will be significantly better. That's just obvious. And their defense, without a shadow of a doubt, should improve. Without a shadow of a doubt. They have a real defensive coordinator again. Someone with obviously a ton of experience, who's a proven great defensive coach. And then there you go. Again, that alone is going to be better. They should have Pearsall. They should have Ayuk. Depends on how you feel, how confident you are about Christian McCaffrey. But if Christian McCaffrey is there, the run game and the offense is clearly going to be different. So I just don't understand. I do understand, but it's just I do understand, but I don't understand. Honestly. I'm still this whole video for me honestly feels so messy for me personally, and I'm sure it's even coming off as messy because I still can't believe that we're trying to pretend like what happened to Pearsall is just nothing. And we're like, well, he was there for 12 games or whatever, whatever it was. I mean, that is so insane. That really is, man. That really is. It's like saying, DeMar Hamlin should have, toughed it out. He should have been available the next week. It's like, oh, okay, sure. I mean, I guess so. Oh my God. I'm speechless. I really am. And it's why I think what it is too. It's like when you come with that type of energy, and I've already made all the videos of like actually doing the deep dives into the stats, etc., which is why I tried to look at the individual games just to kind of add like a slightly different flavor to it. Although it's just like those games are already so long and gone, that it's just hard to really remember exactly how they were lost and exactly how they all unfolded. That it just loses the intensity. It loses like the actual weight of it. And it's just, oh man, I don't know. I really don't. And the seriousness of it, like, it's one thing if you were just being a little tongue-in-cheek and you're like, oh well, Pearsall, hey, he was playing, and you're just kind of saying it like, I know, but like I just gotta say it. It's my game, it's my shtick. We're having a game of debates, and so in the court of law we would say, was he here or was he not? He was there, exactly, right? And it would just be like a little bit more fun. But this was really kind of like, he was there. There's no excuses. That's just what it is. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Just bizarre to me. It really is. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the 49ers? Do you think it's more likely that they win the division or miss the playoffs? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.